Okay, so we are right in the middle of restoring this 1923 house, and I wanted to bring you along for one of the messier parts of the process. We thought that we were just taking off some really ugly, lumpy sheetrock, and once we started removing it, we realized it wasn't actually sheetrock at all. And we started uncovering little pieces of the home's history that we are excited to show you. So today we're going to show you what we're finding behind the walls, what we're saving, and why we're being so careful with what we take out of an old house. One of the biggest things we really want people to understand about renovating an older house is that you need to really slow down before you start tearing things apart. Because what looks ugly or outdated might actually be original, or it might be covering up something that is original. In this room, we thought we were dealing with ugly old sheetrock. Instead, we discovered beaver board, original shiplap underneath it, old wallpaper, and even a little calendar from 1938. And this is exactly why we always encourage people to really understand the house that they're buying or renovating before they start making big decisions. And we actually have 2 free guides that help you with that. One for people who are thinking about buying a historic home and want a checklist that is actually helpful and going to help you on that journey, and one for people who already own one and are trying to figure out how to renovate it the right way. You can grab whichever one applies to you. We've got both links in the description below. And now let me show you what we found behind these walls.
Almost finished removing the sheetrock, which is actually beaver board, I found out, which has been very difficult to remove. We're almost through removing it. The reason we wanted to remove it is we thought it was sheetrock that was really lumpy and ugly, and they put it up against the original wood trim over the old wallpaper, and had just put it up to here. So the trim did not have a reveal, which is a big deal. You need to have the reveal on your trim. So typically, this is our old trim. We're saving it. It looks horrible. We're going to clean it all up, pull all the nails out, and try to reuse it. So we're saving all of the old wood trim that we pulled off. The reason we removed this trim is that you want this reveal to show. This was originally over a wall like this that had the wallpaper. So it did not have any thickness on the wall. This was right here, and you could see the whole edge. I've got a nail in here, so I'm not showing you very well. But normally you would have a 1/2 inch showing of the wood. Later, someone had put what we thought was sheetrock all over the walls, which brought it right out to the edge of this wood. So that is not an original look. It's not what you want. You want it to actually have this reveal on the edge. So what we did is we carefully pulled all this off. We're saving it. We're going to take all the nails out. We're going to clean it up. We're going to sand these and reuse them. We are almost finished pulling off every bit of what we thought was sheetrock. It was not. It is what they call beaver board. It's made of plant fibers, and it was used in the 1920s and 30s. We found a little hidden surprise behind it, which is a little calendar we'll show you in a minute. And it says 1938, so we know what year it was changed. I'm going to get all this out, Marley, because I've got all this wallpaper and stuff too.
If you have followed us for a while, you know that my mom and I love historic homes and love restoring them. And one of the things that we really love about these old houses is that you never quite know what you're going to find once you start opening things up. Sometimes it's good surprises, sometimes it's not so good surprises. This house was built in 1923, and we are trying to restore it in a way that respects the original character while still making it work beautifully for modern life. So we're not just coming in and ripping everything out and starting over. Before we remove something, we're trying to figure out what it is, why it's there, and whether there's something underneath it that is worth saving. And that is exactly what happened in this house.
I'm going to show you what we found. This is an old kind of silver wallpaper that was in one of the rooms. This, you're still seeing some on the wall. They did paint with, just use paint on this other part of it. This was a ceiling trim. And this is a cute little thing we found. It was a calendar. It says 1938, and it was underneath the beaver board. So we know when they installed that. So we're trying to make this and restore it the way it should be. When we remove whatever's the covering on the walls that we need to get rid of, sometimes it'll be a thin paneling, sometimes it's sheetrock in really bad condition. I've never removed plaster lath. We just usually can repair that, thank goodness. But anyway, we thought this was ugly sheetrock that looked so terrible. And so we thought we've got to take this off, take our trim off. We very carefully remove everything, and we want to underneath is shiplap, very sturdy, very hard original wood. It's how the house was built. They did not frame houses like we do now. They had much white. We do every 16 inches framing. Theirs was at least 20 to 24. And so you can see our new framing here behind me on an addition we're doing. But anyway, they were much wider then, and the shiplap is very strong and sturdy, and it literally holds the house together. The houses are really well built. So we want to save that. So we keep all of that, and if we find a rotten piece of shiplap, we save a piece from another area and put it in there and make it stronger again. So we put it all back. We never use a sledgehammer. We carefully remove, like we've shown you in our video. And then we are going to go back with, in this situation on this house, with brand new sheetrock, make it gorgeous. Not very much texture at all, if any. And then we are putting all of that original wood. If we have to replace some, we will. This house had very, very plain trim. It was nothing fancy. And it was built in 1923. So we're going to put it back like it was. The 10-inch baseboards, it has 6-inch trim around windows and doors. And the only thing I'm going to do different in the public rooms, dining room, living room, I'm going to dress it up with some beautiful crown molding, which I think is really important. We're going to do lots of gorgeous colors throughout the house. A very modern kitchen that is still ties in with the history of the home. It's going to have a beautiful, beautiful island with turned legs that really fit the period of the house.
Is where we're at right now. We've carefully removed the beaver board. We're saving as much of the original trim as we possibly can, and we're keeping the original intact so that we can keep the bones of the home and the structure of the home exactly where it needs to be. The next step is to get these walls ready for new life, and then we are going to put up the original trim back where it belongs. This house has really simple original trim. It doesn't have that intricate trim that you sometimes find in historic homes. It has those big 10-inch baseboards and 6-inch trim around the doors and the windows, and we are preserving that rather than replacing it with something that doesn't actually belong in the home. We're also going to make some changes that will make the house feel really beautiful and livable for today's buyer. We're planning some gorgeous color throughout the house, some crown molding in the public rooms, and eventually a modern kitchen that still feels like it belongs in a 1923 home. So this is definitely not the pretty part yet. This is the messy, dusty, what have we gotten ourselves into part. But this is one of our favorite parts. So that is a little behind the scenes look at where we are in this restoration right now. We are still very much in the middle of it, which means there is a lot left to do. But that is what we love about restoring old houses. You get to uncover the things that previous owners covered up, figure out what was original, save what you can, and then thoughtfully bring the house back to life. And we are going to keep bringing you along as this one comes together. We are about to get to the really fun part, so you're going to want to see that. If you are interested in historic homes, whether you're thinking about buying one, you've already bought one and you're renovating, or you just love seeing what these old houses have hidden inside them, make sure you subscribe because we have so much more to show you. If you are looking to buy a historic home, I want you to go watch our video on the 5 things that you need to look at before you make an offer. It is a fully in-depth video that is going to help you so much on this journey. And if you have already bought a historic home and you are looking at renovating your kitchen, you want to go watch our kitchen video where we break down how to keep a timeless kitchen that still meets modern needs inside a historic home. We'll see you over there.